Blaine Holt is joining us, retired U.S. Air Force Brigadier General, as well as U.S. Deputy Military Representative to NATO. R.P. Newman is here, retired U.S. Recon Marine and a ground combat veteran. Gentlemen, good to see you. General Holt, starting with you, we'll begin with his post on Iran, on X, from Iran's foreign minister, reading, "The U.S. has perpetrated an atrocity at sea, 2,000 miles away from Iran's shores. Frigate Dina, a guest of India's Navy carrying almost 130 sailors, was struck in international waters without warning." And here comes the big part. Mark my words, the U.S. will come to bitterly regret precedent it has set. General, how serious should the U.S. take these words, or are they that, just words?
Well, we're taking the threat seriously. We're doing very well militarily, but we respect the threat. And you're watching a near-perfect military operation underway. The foreign minister of Iran is freaking out because he knows what we know, which is now that we have done this, now that we have gone this far, there is no way this regime gets to remain in place in any way, shape, or form. All you'll have is a respawning of revenge-minded mullahs who want to create havoc in our own nation and Europe and beyond. And so we're looking to a new day now. I'm really gratified because I'm getting words that there is a C-130 resupply airdrop underway in a region where the Kurdish people might be able to help revolutionaries. It's just intensifying, and I think the foreign minister's days of getting to social media are coming to an end.
Wow. And R.P. Newman, now the Kurds have invaded northwest Iran. You trained a lot of them in Iraq from 2010 to 2012. White House Press Secretary, Caroline Leavitt, she was asked about Kurdish military forces talking with President Trump, being on the ground. Take a listen to what she said right here, sir.
The Trump administration reportedly is considering arming Kurdish forces in the hopes of inspiring a popular uprising in Iran. Could you comment on that report?
I can comment on the fact that the president has held many calls with partners, allies, and leaders in the region, in the Middle East. He did speak to Kurdish leaders with respect to our base that we have in northern Iraq. But as for any report suggesting that the president has agreed to any such plan is completely false and should not be written.
So, RP, what do you make of the denial of those reports? And do you think it is a good idea to arm Kurdish forces if the administration decides to go forward with it?
At this point in the evolution, when you look at the hybrid warfare that we're fighting, she did give the right answer. Keep in mind what the Secretary of War said yesterday regarding this. He said, well, the Department of War isn't involved with anything like that, but maybe some other organizations are. That would be something like the Special Activities Center under the Directorate of Operations at the CIA. Keep in mind also that the Kurdish diaspora in the region is largely spread from Iraq, Turkey, Syria, and Iran. In Iran, there are 9 to 10 million Kurds, and in Iraqi Kurdistan, maybe 5.5 to 8.5 million. So if you're going to arm them, then you have to follow through with the program. And again, this dovetails in with JADO, J-A-D-O, Joint All-Domain Operations, where you have air, land, sea, space, cyberspace, and EM, the electromagnetic spectrum. So this went very quickly, it appears at this point, from strictly a high-tech JADO operation into hybrid warfare. And you go back to, let's see, the Spanish Civil War, nationalist general Emilio Mola, when you said, I have a fifth column in this fight. When you said fifth column, which is what this is now, when the Kurds go in, referred to his insurgents.
Right.
So now you're looking at insurgent warfare as well.
And just to clarify, those are just reports that we're reading that they're going into Iran. That has not yet been confirmed. So, of course, we're just waiting to see. As everything unfolds, all the details are still coming out.
Speaking of reports, the Washington Post reporting this in regards to the Kurdish military general, saying Trump offered Kurdish leaders in Iran and Iraq extensive air support this week to seize parts of western Iran. A senior Kurdish official told the paper, quote, "Trump told us that the Kurds must choose a side in this battle, either with America and Israel or with Iran." General, how important is that statement, if true?
Extremely important, and it's very expected that this would be the next phase of operations. Look, the Kurdish they're fierce fighters. They're just absolutely fierce fighters. They've proven themselves. They've been aligned with the United States for quite some time. We've played the diplomacy with the Kurdish folks regarding sticky, uncomfortable situations like Turkey's oppressing them and other things perfectly well with the Trump administration. They're in an ideal position. And look, I think this is a logical progression, and I think it's going to go forward just exactly this way. But if they want to bomb somewhere, we're going to put it there. If they want air support, they're going to get that air support. We're not going to leave them behind at this point in time, because as I said, the bigger danger is in going backwards or standing down. We have no reverse gear here. We're going forward on this.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.